What's up, agents, and welcome back to another Division video. We've got so much to cover in this PTS. It's absolutely insane. I hope you've been enjoying the coverage so far. I know some of my videos have been lengthy and I don't usually like that. This one again might be a lengthy one, just a heads up, but we've got a lot to talk about. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. So we're going to talk about the brand new talent that they have brought into the game called Streamline. And we're also going to talk about the crazy new mask, the Tinkerer. We're probably going to focus on the Tinkerer more than Streamline, but I did want to highlight Streamline a little bit because it is absolutely insane. I might make its own video. And you would think that Streamline, although it doesn't have like an icon right now, it is on this gun. It does actually work. Streamline and Determined are probably going to become absolutely insane. Determined hasn't been fixed. I know that's going to be a lot of people sighing in the comments, but also it's going to be a lot of people rejoicing in the comments as well. It very much does break up the community to a very 50-50 kind of category, whether Determined should be in the game or not, especially with how it is. But anyway, that's a different discussion. But as you can see here with this build at the moment, we can't actually use this in this environment. So if we flip over to the patch notes, Streamline and Perpetuation talents do not work with the abridged talent. And it's a known issue, so that it should work, just at the moment it doesn't. So expect that this will work when the PTS is over and we actually get the actual season, or you would hope so anyway. So at the moment it doesn't matter. I could change this gun off to this FAMAS, and this Tinkerer isn't essentially going to be doing anything at all. But just to give you an example of how much damage this build does, right? So what we'll do, so nearly 5 million there with a regular shot, but then when Determined Headhunter starts to proc, you can see here at the bottom, it starts doing about 20 million, 21 million on a crit. Kind of nice, right? And I'm not saying that's best in slot or anything like that. It's just an all high-end build, all based into, I think everything's based into headshot damage. I didn't even check. Headshot damage, yeah. Oh, this holster isn't. This holster's on a yellow. And there's a reason for that. Can we change anything real quick? We don't really want to do that. But 1 second, I'll change something. Alright, so that's a bit better now. We've got an Araldi headshot holster in here giving us marksman rifle because we're using marksman rifles for this. So as you can see, let's see what we're doing now off the top. So it's 5.6 mils. We have bumped our damage quite significantly by putting that holster on. And now we're hitting for 22 on a normal hit and 23 on a crit, right? All right, so that's kind of nice, right? So the question is, what would it be like if Streamlined was actually working? So the natural progression of things here would be you would have two M700s, but when we can actually recreate what it would actually be like if Streamlined was actually working, and all we have to do is put this to Streamlined, to Streamline, not Streamlined. And then that one would be Determined. Now, Determined isn't going to work in this scenario. But if we constantly hit heads anyway, it doesn't matter. So because we're in the range, we can do that. We can hit a head 100% of the time. So what would this combo be like out and about in the real world? Well, I can't really go out and tell you that because I'm terrible at damage. But already you see that I hit 8 million right off the rip. So we know there's going to be a significant damage increase. So 29 million. 29 million on a normal hit. And 30 million on a regular hit. Giving us what? Roughly 6 million nearly. Well, just over 6.5 million extra damage that you'll be able to run around and body shot with Determined if this was working in the real world. That is an absolutely insane combination. 30 mil and 29 million. I mean, if Determined ever goes away and you're good at headshots, you are going to be eating good. That is absolutely insane. But we can't test it in the reality of it, unfortunately, because yeah, it's just not going to work. But we can test some other things with this mask. And one thing that has come up a lot is Brazen with Pummel. So let's get that set up. I'll be right back. All right, so we've got set up. Now, there's a couple of ways you can set this up. You can either set up a headshot version with Headhunter, which I think might be crazy. That's the one I've gone with. But there is some downside to doing this because we have to now run the Hunter's Fury backpack, which gives us no extra damage whatsoever. Or you could go with a crit variant and run a damage backpack. But ideally, you'd run a Badger Tough backpack. And I've just realized I don't have an all-red Badger Tough backpack with either Vigilance or Unstoppable Force. That's a goated backpack if you've got one. And we've probably got a month to kind of farm one out with a mule. So that's something that I'm definitely going to be doing. So there's your heads up, because when the materials for the watch change, that's going to be a really hard backpack to get. Meaning we would have to run the Apex Predator chest piece. Sorry, not Apex Predator, that's the backpack. The Endless Hunger one, meaning we just keep the buffs up for a little bit longer, which generally lets you get from section to section a little bit, and keeping the buffs up, which then obviously increases your DPS because there's no stacking requirement again at that point. But for now, let's just test it out as it is. Obviously, we've got the mask, we've got headshot rolled absolutely everywhere. The headshot damage is 150, which I think from testing previously in another video that your headshot damage has to be over 150. So we can change that. So that's now going to put us over because these have got crit chance on. So it's a good job we checked. No more headshot here. So we want reload speed there for sure. And we've got headshot damage there, which we're going to keep on. So that now puts us 160, meaning we'll get the full chain killer bonus. Headshot rolled absolutely everywhere else. So let's just go to Lincoln Memorial on Heroic. And I mean, you could make endless videos over this. Content creators are probably wetting themselves with the Alpha Bridge Max or A Bridge. I'm always going to call it Alpha Bridge Mask. I mean, I'm a Division 1 player. It's always going to be called that. But yeah, the sheer amount of combinations that they've just released with this is insane. So we're running the M870. Mine is maxed out, as you can see, giving us nearly 1.96 mil damage, almost 2 mil, which is really, really nice. We only got 5 in the mag, so it does mean with Hummel, we're going to get 3 kills within 5 shots to get the 40% damage. But then we're also going to get this amplified damage from Brazen. Receive 3.5% amp damage on next shot with the weapon for each pallet that hits the target, if at least 6 pallets hit. All right, so that's why we've got a shield on. We're going to go right up close and personal.
We need you to secure the memorial and remove the True Sun's forces. If they maintain this outpost, the True Sun will be a direct threat to the campus.
And we're going to see how we get on. And see if we actually need to reload. 4 mil. I'm thinking that the crit version of this is probably going to be better. The nature of Brazen, essentially. You've got to be kidding me. That hit for 6 mil for every pellet?
You'll need to find a way to open that gate.
That is actually insane. If you're good with headshots and shotguns, like, oh. Yeah, 6 mil. Come on, there we come.
Let's go. Come get him.
6.9 mil. Brazen's fully procced. That's crazy. The Headhunter looks buffed. Bugged. There it is. The crit version's definitely going to be better. Headhunter isn't ideal, I think, with a shotgun. Holy moly. Yeah, because of how close you've got to be. We definitely would have to build some survivability. And I mean, look at that from a distance as well, though. Holy. All right, I'm going to pause the video here. I'm going to put a rough... I don't have the Badger Tough backpack, but I'm going to put the crit version together. I think it's just going to be so much better. Let's just do that quick. All right, so we're spec'd out now in all crit chance, crit damage. I'll go over the build quickly afterwards for you.
They maintain this outpost. True Sons will be a direct threat to the campus.
And he's almost dying. It's a great example right off the rip. So the thing we do have now is we've got to get going, right? So currently we're not getting going at all. You can see we've got Unstoppable Force on that's only procced once, so we're going to lose that again. Or not. What is these 2 guns? Thank you. Man. Alright, so maybe I was wrong with this. Just saying. There is the opportunity here that I was wrong. So we're hitting 2 mil now. But what we need to see is that enough to take out an elite? Because if it's not, then it's kind of pointless, right?
They're moving south. There's a gate between you. It looks
It's definitely rough if you're not playing up close and personal. Like, we would maybe have to build some survivability in, and then that then questions, is it kind of worth it at all?
Down there. I better check it out. Where do you think they've gone? There you are. Waste them. Great spot for a turret.
Need some help.
Don't turret me.
There. They're coming around.
I mean, that's your clip right there, right? If you're being one of them guys, that's your clip right there. How easy was that? But yeah, you saw the struggle bus at the beginning.
Here they are.
Oh yeah, so we can cap an elite as well.
Serious trauma detected.
Get to cover.
Taking you down.
all clear.
I mean, it's still pretty good, right? It doesn't hit them big numbers of the Headhunter version. I do think the Headhunter version's better. You just have to adjust to playing, you know, Headhunter wise. So yeah, that's pretty interesting to say the least. But there's so many possibilities with this that are just going to increase our damage. Alright, so this is Legendary 1886. No shot, it was that easy. Alright, so let's try out an LMG build. So I'm going to go with Frenzy. And I'm going to go with Killer. But there's things like Measured, Steady-Handed. There's all kinds of crazy LMG talents that we're able to try out. This is my best in slot LMG build because it's really good with the Pestilence. It does a lot of damage, but obviously it's pretty risky because it runs a Langmore chest with glass cannon, but you could flip out to Obliterate. But with all that being said, this is not a build video. Let's get the Tinkerer on and let's give it a go. That frenzied buff is really nice. Look at that for burst DPS. Just left click mode. Only left click mode. Oh, I almost died.
Serious trauma detected.
Don't die, don't die, don't die. Not good for the health.
Found one. Fly, little bird.
Serious trauma detected. Agent incapacitated.
Shoot the backpack, Tickle. Holy DPS. I mean, I've got 0 survivability, but the fact that we can put out so much DPS so quick is insane. And do I miss the pesty? Absolutely. You know, them ticks were worth so much. But yeah, I mean, we're just testing. This is definitely not the best build in the world to go for this. I mean, if you were in a group with a healer, it would slay. But I mean, let's just try it here. We didn't reload from empty, which is interesting. They're just going to sit in cover now, aren't they?
Immediate medical assistance needed.
I mean, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And you can kind of spec it up, right? So like now, oh, it did reload already. Damn it. I was trying to spec it up so that I could like wait for these guys to come around the corner. I mean, I already know that's doing an insane amount of damage. Try and beat the... Yeah, that's crazy. The only problem is now, like, the reload, right? It would have been nice to not have that reload so that now I don't have to peek my head out and get battered. Can we beat him? Yes, we can. Yeah, I mean, it's really nice. The combinations are going to be endless, but, you know, the general consensus for me is this mask is a huge win. It's just a matter of finding the right two talents to go together. You know, you find that dream combo, then it's going to be good. Headhunter builds are wild. Shotgun builds are wild. And you're just going to be able to add to your strikers builds, you know, the fact that you're going to be able to put your Lexington on, because that is a point that it's named weapons that it says on the talent. So if we flip to this now and go to the Tinkerer, it says named weapons are not exotic or named. It actually means perfect talents. So because Lexington and the handbasket don't have a name, you know, don't have a named a perfect talent. These work. These guns work. So we're still going to be able to use the Lexington, essentially meaning that you can have Killer on, maybe Flatline, Optimist, Strained, and put all them goodness on the secondary. It does just mean that we're going to have to flip back to using the Striker's backpack, but that build right there, I mean, is probably going to be really good, right? You know what I mean? That is probably going to be a good run and gun build right there. Anyway, that's going to be it for the video. It's been way too long. This thing is peak, though. It's absolutely great. Hopefully, they don't make any changes to it. I absolutely love it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you want me to check out on the PTS, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.